gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. Testing. 1 to the 2 to the 3. We back, baby. This is a Mixtape 615 podcast, and this right here, even though it's the off season, it's an off season. We're a little bit off of the season. This is still the place to be. If you're a Nashville Soccer Club fan, or you're just trying to see what's going on with the boys in goal, well, let me invite you right now. Lock in, baby. Please, lock in real quick. I'm your boy, full AKAs this time, because the season's over and I'm back in effect, baby. So check it out. AKA Young Turtle, Lee Soccer Face. That's that doing the DR Kid affection. You know, Steve Poppy. AKA Mississippi Mai Tais on this beach of Belize, feeling cool like a summer breeze. AKA you see me on the street, do not lock eyes with me, because I will challenge you to a Poke battle. You will hear that music, and I will say, hey, I'm going to choose my best Pokemon, and my best Pokemon is better than your best Pokemon. But also, I'm the dopest Poke trainer that you ever did know, AKA Hot Sauce. Ooh, that's hot. AKA Chicago Mike, the Glizzy Gladiator. And this, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Mixtape 615 podcast. We're back in effect. Austin, can you please introduce yourself to the people?
Wait, Tunji, I didn't hear anybody munching on no little tuna sandwiches.
I haven't done that one in a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Austin.
I haven't retired it. I've got a lot.
Well, I am Austin, aka Wildman, aka Ginger Snap. Don't cross this Ginger because he may snap. AKA the Fumbling Dublin, AKA Cheeky Parm, AKA Red Beard and Tunji. You didn't let us know who is your strongest Pokemon or your top Pokemon. Who's your go-to choice?
Oh, I wish you hadn't done that. Well, I think I have
Maybe
to
we think
choose.
about it.
No, I can choose right now. My strongest Pokemon is Bakayo Saka.
What?
Yeah, I just lost you guys. I tried to make a joke. It's an Arsenal thing. You guys wouldn't understand. All my Arsenal fans, shout out. You don't know who Bakayo Saka is. You're not a real fan.
Oh, I got it now.
Yeah.
All right, Logan, tell him who you are.
Well, this is Logan, aka Beer Main, aka Manga Main, aka Mr. C, and this is the Mixtape 615 podcast, brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, in all of soccer, in all the world. Also, special shout out to our sponsor, Chris Chiropractic, for all your chiropractic needs. Definitely hit them up. But
crack them joints, baby.
We want you to crack into the website, mixtape615.com. That is mixtape615.com, and jump in to the mix. That way you can get on our Slack, get all of our up-to-date. I love it. The breaking news. Every single time something comes out, immediately you are notified. You are able to know what is going on in this Nashville soccer club, because there is a lot of soccer news out there, from Liverpool still being on top and running away with it right now. Let's go.
Shut up.
To the fact that the club that's on top in the MLS not making the World Cup, the Club World Cup, which is crazy. There's a lot of soccer news out there, but we do want to bring it all the way back to Nashville, because we have a little bit of a souring of a talk that we need to get through, because this last year, Tunji, you said it already, it's an off season, but it was an off season this last year. And our MVP of our hearts, the boy, the man, the German that played with the guy from Furman, Walker Zimmerman. He went to Furman, but anyways,
Furman.
Yeah. The German with the guy from Furman had a really down year this last year.
I don't think his year was down. That's a lot. That's saying a lot. A down year?
It was a down year for everybody in Nashville. Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying in general, it's a down year. And that's not fun, especially when we have a guy who we know is an MLS MVP. We're talking Hany Mukhtar, 2022 MLS MVP, who had a star showing that year, who had a really good showing the next year in 2023, who had a mega drop off. And of course, the man who's paid to be here more than anybody else, Lionel Messi, has come and taken it away for the 2024 season. So I want us to compare a little bit more about what we have at home versus what they've created in Miami when it comes to that MVP race. So Austin, I want to start with you, man. What do you feel like is the biggest difference between those 2 years when it comes to who the winner was and why?
I mean, the difference, you saw it play out on the field. Hany Mukhtar played 33 games in his MLS MVP season. You saw Messi play only 19 games in this season. Goal contributions, when you look at them side by side, Messi had 36 goal contributions. And then Hany Mukhtar, during his MLS run, he had 34 goal contributions. So Messi in 14 less games actually had 2 more goal contributions. Now, it could be who he's playing alongside, because there are some better, higher quality players who are goal scorers, who have been goal scorers at higher levels than who Hany is playing alongside. But take that away, just who they are. I mean, Lionel Messi is one of the best, if not, a lot of people will argue the best to ever do it. And he's playing in a league that, yes, they did get knocked out in the first round by Atlanta. But he's playing in a league that is a lot lower standard, a lot lower quality than what he is used to playing against. So I think it comes down to, you've got one of the best in the world to ever do it. And then you've got a guy like Hany Mukhtar, who is one of the best in the MLS, but the MLS is still the MLS.
For sure.
Yeah, it's still a growing league, and it's like when a guy with the gravitas that Messi has comes in and absolutely wrecks, like he broke records, you know what I mean? Like 2.18 goal contributions per 90 minutes. One game gets you 2 goals from this man. That's insane. I don't
possibly more than 2 goals.
I mean, he's breaking records with, broken feet, because, I mean, you saw with his injury mid-season during the Copa, I mean, he still came back and was looking like one of the best, if not the best in the league.
And that's kind of the thing, right? Is like, well, I think it's not crazy to sit and look at like Lionel Messi winning the MVP award for the what's it called, Messi League Soccer? Oh, my bad, Major League Soccer. Sorry, my bad. I just, for some reason,
this guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, it's not crazy to look at him winning the MVP, but it's like when I think the controversy comes in is when people are like, well, he only played half the games. How is he the most valuable player when he played half the games? Well, it's like, well, he had more goal contributions than anyone else in the league. The people who played double the amount of time than him, he still had. So like, it's like, all right, well, at that point, are you arguing that like he should have stayed healthy longer? Or are you trying to tell me he's not a better quality player than the guys who did play the rest of it? Because that's 2 different conversations at that point. Like, I'm like, if you're telling me that he should have stayed, like, he's not the most valuable player because he should have stayed healthy longer, then I'm just like, well, Father Time gets the best of all of us, and the other people should have played way better. Yeah, that's just like Messi set a standard, and I'm not. I hope that is a standard that is broken, because 2.18 goal contributions per match is insane.
Are you tired of neck or back pain? Maybe it's shoulder pain or headaches get in the way of your busy life. Well, Christ Chiropractic is right here in Franklin, Tennessee, and they've been helping families and professionals live their best life for over 25 years. They specialize in spinal decompression therapy and chiropractic adjustments that are there to tackle the pain and get down to the root cause without drugs, without surgery. So whether it's stress from work or chasing your kids around, they have got you covered. Visit christchiropractic.com. That's CRIST chiropractic.com to schedule your appointment and take the first step toward living a pain-free life.
Just coming to a league like this, and we've seen players come over and do like Zlatan. You saw Henry. You saw David Beckham come over. You know, you think of these like high quality European players coming over and into the MLS, but a lot of those players were basically retired at that point, and this was their retirement party, was them in the MLS. Messi is coming over. He was 35. He's 36 now, coming over in his prime, just after, literally the year after he won the World Cup, was playing in the MLS
and the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, you think this is his prime? This is not his. I don't think this is his prime.
But I think he is still in.
Yeah, I think it's closer to his prime. This is not. I mean, if you want to compare, two of the GOATs, you think of like Michael Jordan. This is not Michael Jordan Wizards. This is still Michael Jordan Chicago.
This is like Michael Jordan 90, 97, 98, whatever it was. Like
come back wearing the 4-5.
Because typically what we get are people.
Was Wizards Jordan.
Yeah. But I'm saying typically we're getting players who are basically the Michael Jordan Wizards, not the Michael Jordan Chicago, coming over to the MLS and
taking
Messi is still
playing baseball.
The Shaquille O'Neal Suns.
But he's still looking good, and it's showing. I mean, what would it look like? What records would he have broken had he played a full season?
Here's the question, and I think this is what's really shattering most people's egos when it comes to football, soccer in the United States. Is Messi that good, or is the MLS that bad?
Yes.
What?
So the MLS definitely needs to step up. That's why a lot of people in the realm of both MLS and USL would love to see some kind of pro rel system between those two leagues. I think it would be cool. I think it'd be awesome, and it would encourage a higher standard of play between the two. Now,
maybe
at the same time, you're also looking at a league that is set up very much like any other American league, where the top is the top no matter what, and half of your teams go to the playoffs every single year. That's just how it's set up and how it looks right now. That's the unfortunate side, is it's set up like every other American sports league. Now, with that being said, you can still continue to grow the game. In fact, it is the highest or fastest growing fan base in the U.S. On top of the fact that you have guys that have come in and essentially made it step up. You mentioned Zlatan. He came in and helped elevate the league to its next level. David Beckham came in and literally saved the league, because had he not come in, I don't know if it would still exist today. When he came in back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you're looking at a guy who saved it. And now to this part, or to the point that we are at now, Messi's coming in and is truly bringing international eyes on the sport. I think that it's huge to bring those guys in, and it helps to elevate the level of play.
Yeah, no, and I'm sorry to cut you off like that, bro. My bad. But no, you're good. I would say this. You're 100% right, and the numbers back you up, because we're talking about, like, we started off by trying to compare Messi's MVP season to Hany's, and we barely talked about Hany. Let's just be real. Here's the next point. MLS was the most watched soccer league after Premier League this year.
Wow.
He's not the MVP of the league, or sorry, of the of Miami and just the league. He's the MVP of American soccer right now. If people are looking at American soccer and seeing what do they got going on, the first thing they're going to say is, "Oh, well, Messi's over in Disney World, kicking some butt," and then they're going to say, "And Christian Pulisic is having a good time over in Italy." That's the order in which we talk about American soccer right now. So yeah, he's an MVP, and he's not that's a title that was bought for him, and he cashed out. He did what he was supposed to do.
So
unfortunately, Miami got smacked by Atlanta outside of the playoffs, and that has nothing to do with how good Messi was this year. That's completely separate.
Yeah, and a lot of people who were not MLS fans prior to this year, a lot of people, I saw a lot of chatter and complaints about, like, why are there even playoffs? Wait, you won your league by winning the Supporters Shield. Why do you have to play more games?
They don't know nothing.
And so that's what, it's like you see all of these leagues around the world, and they don't have these tournaments.
This is America. You have to win the league, and then you have to beat the best people in their leagues. I'm sorry. I love the playoff system, and I hope that at one day MLS can figure out a way to integrate that with soccer in a way that makes sense to the rest of the world. Yeah. To me, it makes sense. I think their formats are a little wonky, but I think they do that on purpose. But I mean, I would not want to give up the playoff system, because that's just what I know, and I'm sorry. I know that it could be interesting if we had a straight point system, but playoffs is fun. If you have never been to a playoff game, you should go. You
got a Cinderella story. That's all, what it brings. That's what it brings.
Hey, we're the country that likes to gamble, bro.
Yeah. So I will say this, guys. I know we talked a lot about Messi, but we still have an MVP at home. We still have an amazing player in Hany Mukhtar, who not only won the MVP that year, but also the Golden Boot, which is insane. All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Next, we have a little bit of a discussion of who's going to be here this next year.
Hey, Nashville SC fans, if you are in love with this team right here, the boys in gold, it's time to take that fandom to the next level.
That is right. So you want to head over to mixtape615.com and lock in your 2025 season membership early. It is the best way to stay connected with all things Nashville SC and beyond.
I mean, why wait? Members get exclusive access to the latest news, behind-the-scenes updates, and everything happening this offseason.
And with the big announcements on the horizon, you won't want to miss a beat, whether it's trades, signings, match day insights. We've got you covered.
So what are you waiting for? Visit mixtape615.com right now. Lock in your membership and stay ahead of the game.
And we're back from being back from the last time we were back, but we're back again. So here we are.
Guess who's back?
Get back. All right. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm playing. Well, check this out.
Oh,
check this out. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the back again, Joe, because we'll get stuck in a loop. Anyways, Nashville SC. We know this team. We love this team. We've been following this team for a very long time. There are people whose names are attached to this team that we have come to love, hate, and admire, and everything in between all of those characteristics, and sometimes all at the same time. So when we talk about a new team like San Diego coming in, everyone knows San Diego. It's the only place in California you actually want to be, right? Like I lived in Cali, so I can say this.
Mainly because of the beer scene.
I see. Everyone has their reasons. For me, it was the weather and the beach, but and the seafood. But here's the thing: San Diego's getting the new team, right? They gutted the San Diego Loyal, and they started a whole new franchise called San Diego FC. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that the team that they're starting out there? So if you guys don't know, let me give you a quick rundown. San Diego FC is a new team. It's the 30th or 31st MLS team because this league is growing at tremendous rates that have been unseen in foreign league, breaking records. And whenever a new team comes into the MLS, they get to steal, essentially, that's what they're doing, players from other teams. It's called the expansion draft. It happens in most leagues in the United States, and it happens pretty often in MLS because we have new teams showing up almost every yearly now. So what you have to do if you're already an established team is protect. It's called protecting your list of players who you want to stay with you, that team is hands off. You can't touch these guys. You can get those bums, but you can't touch these guys. Nashville made a list. Most of us have seen it. With the first thing I want to know, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Austin, tell me what I want to know. Why is Taylor Washington an unprotected player on that list right now? The people that were on the list, 12 people. We had 12 people we could choose to be protected. Taylor Washington wasn't one of them. Why?
I think that's a tough one because if you look at the list, because I know that they were allowed to protect 12 eligible players, and I think like DPs might be outside of that, or but if you look at like the list that we protected, I think it makes sense to what BJ Callahan is trying to do. As much as I love Taylor Washington and I want him to stay here, which the hope is that, because San Diego can only select one of our players who weren't protected. And so the hope is that he doesn't get selected and he's still here. But the players that we did protect are players that we've recently given bigger contracts to. You've got your Lucas McNaughton, you've got your Hany Mukhtar, your Tyler Boyd, your Jacob Schaffelberg, your Patrick Yazbek. I look at these newer players, Josh Bauer, we just re-signed, Jonathan Perez, Julian Gaines, Isaiah Jones. Some of these players that are on this list, I can keep going, but they're players who we've recently given contracts to and who some are a little bit younger than him or might fit the play style that BJ Callahan is trying to bring. And so not having Taylor on the list is sad for all of us fans because he's been here as long as he has. But I think, like I said, it just makes sense to what BJ is trying to establish here in Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, 2018, he's been here. What is that? Like almost 6 years? Going on 7 years. Going on 7.
2 years longer than the MLS side of Nashville.
Exactly. If we include that, that's exactly right. I'm including the USL years. I mean, God, he had over 100 appearances now. He's had the team. He's had for the team three goals. Maybe I think he got maybe a couple that I'm not seeing here on his wiki profile. But maybe about 5-6 goals for the team.
Couple great assists.
At this point, we all are familiar with who he is, not just as a player, but as a force in the community. I mean, his charities are amazing. Like this guy is. I've seen him around town. He's walked into my store and has like immediately had like an impact on the mood of everyone around him when he's around. Like we know this guy. You guys know me. I've had my fair criticisms of him. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I'm surprised that he's made it this long into our MLS era, but I'm also gonna be real. I'm like, well, I mean, the numbers back it up. Like what he's done on the pitch is like when I look at what he's done, I'm like, yeah, he
passes the eye test.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he passes that eye test. Logan, do you feel like he should be protected?
I mean, personally, I do believe that If I were to make those decisions, I would protect him over Josh Bauer.
Why?
Because if you're looking at center backs that we have Walker Zimmerman, Lucas McNaughton, Josh Bauer, Jack Mayer. We have so many right now in that mix. And out of those names that I just named, who do you feel out of those? I'm not saying any of them are bad, but out of those, who do you feel like is at the bottom?
The team feels Jack Mayer.
You said Josh Bauer, Jack Mayer,
Lucas McNaughton, and Walker Zimmerman.
I wouldn't say that Taylor Washington was at the very bottom of that list.
No. But I'm saying out of those names, out of our center backs, out of those names, who's at the bottom?
Jack Mayer.
I think Jack Mayer had the worst season.
I mean, personally, with as many mess ups that I saw, I would put Josh Bauer down there. How many goals were scored off of his misplacements?
Yes, I want to, and this is, I've given plenty of discontent with Josh Bauer. I've had plenty of that throughout this season. However, I will play a little bit of defense for him right now, because if we look at the season that Nashville had with all the injuries, Josh Bauer played right back a lot, and that is not his true position. And so doing that, I think he was playing out of position a lot and trying to, just fill that role. When he played true center back, he looked better. And so maybe that's, they saw a little bit of something there by giving him, that's why they gave him the new contract.
Yeah. I think when it comes to the conversation between specifically Josh Bauer and Taylor Washington, yes, I'm not the biggest Josh Bauer fan. I feel like there's a ton of other better players in the league. But you got to remember, we drafted Josh Bauer. We have stuck with him, and now he's finally able to play and get on the pitch. And for some reason, here's really the kicker of all of it. For some reason, this is exactly the reason why he's not on that list. At least my belief is this. Brian, not the Titans head coach, Jameis Callahan, who apparently is having a much better season than the Titans head coach. Holy crap! What is going over at Nissan? It's not the topic of this pod though. But BJ Callahan believes in Josh Bauer specifically. I remember seeing quotes from BJ Callahan specifically on Josh Bauer. Remember when Gary was in town? He used to talk about
old heads.
Well,
he used to talk about Milkman,
who are we talking about right now? Yeah. But he did used to talk about Milkman. But he used to be a he would big up Taylor Washington every chance he got.
Yeah.
And for some reason,
everybody.
Here's my thing. I think that for some reason or another, BJ Callahan feels that Josh Bauer is a better player in his system. In his system, let's not forget, we still have not seen.
Yep.
We still have not seen his system with his people, pieces, and mindset. We've seen we haven't even seen half a season of BJ Callahan ball, real BJ Callahan ball. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm not trying to say one way or the other. But unfortunately for Taylor Washington, he falls into that category of players where it's like, well, man, if it's you or the nostalgia, right? The nostalgia effect, the I'm gonna go with the guy who I think gives me the best opportunity. And unfortunately, that's not Taylor Washington in this situation. I wish it was. Because I believe in what he brings to Nashville SC fans, true Nashville SC fans who day one fans, A1 day one. Mm-hmm. They know who BJ Callahan. They know who Taylor Washington is. We all have seen him do what he does on the pitch and do what he does off the pitch, and those things add up to us. It adds up to me.
It's the heart, man. And that's one of the things that's hard to let go of players. Like, I hate to see that we didn't exercise options for Anibal Godoy. Like, love his heart, love his mindset. It's guys like that. Dax McCarty, when we didn't give him that option. That hurts. And it's guys like that. And Taylor's one of those where it kind of plays to that heart feel of who the man is, not necessarily always the player.
Okay.
Now,
Well, hey, look, I feel you. Hold on. I feel you on that, but I need to dig in on this because we can talk about it hurts when you let go of our favorite players or players who meant something to us all the time.
Yeah.
But we also 99% of the time on our podcast talk about get rid of this guy. Not necessarily the people who are unprotected or the people who have not been able to sign a new contract or we've straight up let go of. We also on the other side of this equation where we're like, we need to get this guy,
trying to make
this guy
decisions. Yeah.
So what makes this, let's say, what it looks like, apparently from the chatter online and from our supporter group in particular, what it looks like is it would be a big loss to us as fans if we lost Taylor Washington. And this question is open to the floor. What makes this right? Giving up him, maybe, and it's like, again, there's nothing we get from giving him up. We just have to give him up
if they pick him too.
I was about to say we're talking like he's gone. This guy is not gone. San Diego would have to select him, and they're selecting him over some of these other players who probably would be better for their team. You've got, Randall Lee All, who, if he stays healthy, would probably help them out more.
If I was San Diego, I would take the swing. Being a leader, that'd be huge.
If I was San Diego, I would take the swing on Leal over. And again, we talked about it, but like veteran presence is what he brings. Let's say he's gone. Like, it's not even just that, like, that if he does go, it's the fact that Nashville is signaling, hey,
he's expendable.
He's not as valuable to us as he is to y'all.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about the mindset of where the team is at right now? Does them saying that the fan favorite is on the chopping block this early? We've not even gotten into the season, the off season, like the trading season yet. When does that start? Like the signing players. When does that start?
Thursday. This Thursday.
And they're signaling December that 12th. Hey, this fan favorite is on the chopping block. Does that tell y'all anything?
I mean, it tells me that they're making business decisions. They're standing on business. I mean, these guys are doing what we hope that they are doing. It tells me that they are making decisions this offseason, setting themselves up and saying, this is our core. These 12 plus players that they have protected. This is our core. This is who we are building the team around. Everyone else are pieces that can play a part. If they get selected, good luck to them. But these players who are protected, this is who we're building around. We're going to add players around them, or anyone else who doesn't get selected, who was unprotected, they are complementary roles. And so that's what it tells me. And this is what we've been begging the team to do, right? We want to we can get sad if Taylor Washington gets selected. I hope he doesn't. He's my daughter's favorite player. He gave her one of his jerseys, like this guy is class act. You've heard us talk about it this whole segment. However, if he does get selected, then it's not going to change what we are wanting the team to do. It's not going to change what they are wanting to do. And I want to see Nashville make smart moves in this offseason. I don't want us to get caught up on the heart. As much as I do love Taylor Washington, I want to see us make business decisions that's going to set us up in better positions to make a playoff run.
Honestly, if I may, as much as I love Taylor Washington as well, I think we have a few more positions as far as position players on this list that are worse off to have on the unprotected list than if we were to lose Taylor Washington. We don't have Martino anymore. So without Elliot Panico, our only goalie is Joe Willis. And as much as I love him being 36 years old into this next season, you're looking at somebody who may not be around for the entirety of next season.
Well, you read the tea leaves there. Same thing we're doing with with my guy Taylor Washington.
Yeah.
You only have 2 goalkeepers on or supposedly on. It's associated with your team right now, your main team. You don't have any youth I don't see any guys on the lower levels that can step in. And you're saying, hey, Elliot, you're unprotected, brother, man. Well, I think we're probably going to see a big signing.
I hope so.
In that area.
There's a couple players in college that I'm already looking at that I think it would be awesome if we were to be able to pick them up in the draft, the super draft that comes up, I think within the next week, right?
Is that not tonight?
No, super draft is not tonight.
Oh, expansion draft is tomorrow. Yeah, expansion draft is tonight. Super draft
tomorrow.
Yeah,
as of recording.
As of recording.
Yeah, as of recording. Well, you know what? That's a good place to. I think once we have the info from the expansion draft and then the super draft, I think we'll be back with some more points for the people. I want to give a shout out to my man Austin over here, Ginger Snap, with the Power Line shirt, which I just noticed. That is amazing. That is truly a 90s kid era. Like, you have to be a 90s kid to appreciate what's going on in this podcast, y'all. Or Jason. And millennials are welcome. Not millennials, of course. Gen Z, you're welcome. You're
Gen
welcome
X
too. Gen Alpha, you just stay out of here. Wow. You guys are monsters. All right, so I'm gonna close this out.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap another episode of Mixtape 615. So thank you, guys. Big love to all of y'all for sticking with us. We are on episode 50, guys. Woo! We have made it all the way 50. So we are super excited that y'all have stuck with us for 50 episodes of Mixtape 615. There is a lot more to come. We've got a season coming up that we're going to be coming at you even more with lots more behind the scenes, lots more breaking news. We're hoping to bring you and our takes. You know, we've always got our own opinions on all of this stuff. Big shout out to our producer, Doug Branson. This guy keeping us rolling. He's the real MVP of this podcast.
MVP,
He's kept us going for 50 episodes. So thank you, Doug, for sticking with us. Don't forget to stay connected. Hit us up at Mixtape 615 and on all of our socials. Hit us up at Instagram, Facebook, X. You can hit us up and find us at Mixtape 615. And for all of our video content, you know where to find us at Mixtape 615 Pod on YouTube. Big shout out to our sponsor, Christ Chiropractic. Hit them up at Christ, that is CRIST, chiropractic.com. For all of your chiropractic needs. They are located in the Cool Springs area in Franklin, Tennessee. But guys, keep it real, keep it vibing. Until next episode, Mixtape 615 is signing off.